Hey guys, welcome back to Fowler's Free Time. I'm your host Chris Fowler and we're back in the kitchen. And once again we're going to be working with Asian pork recipes. Today we're going to be doing a char siu boneless rib. So stick around and I'll show you how this recipe is made. Okay, let's look at the ingredients we'll be using today. First, we're going to need a few scallions. And grab a head of garlic. Then you'll need some rice wine. Today I'm using Mirin. Next up, salt, char siu sauce, Chinese 5-spice powder, sesame oil, and honey. For the protein, I scored some awesome boneless country-style pork ribs. But you can use any ribs that you can find, whether they be spare ribs or baby back. To start off, separate the green parts of the scallions. Later on you can finely chop them and use them for garnishing, but for the marinade, we only want the white parts of the scallion, and of course, we need the head of garlic peeled and ready to go. Grab your blender. We'll be adding the garlic and the scallion now. We'll also drizzle in approximately a quarter cup of the char siu sauce. I'll link the brand I used in the description box below. Now let's throw in a quarter cup of mirin. And we'll finish the marinade with a tablespoon of 5-spice powder. Go ahead and blend your marinade until it's smooth. If you need to do some meat prep, now is a good time. I'm cutting my boneless ribs into serving size portions, but if you're using spare ribs or baby back ribs, you can skip this step. It's time for some salt. Apply the salt directly to the pork and rub it in. Now, pour on the marinade. And don't be afraid to get in there with your hands and ensure that the meat is properly coated with the marinade. Okay, welcome back. So, our ribs have been marinating in the fridge for almost 7 hours. Overnight would have been better, but this will do. I'm going to lay them out on a foiled pan, and I'm going to add some char siu sauce on top of that and a little bit of sesame oil, and then I'm going to cover it with foil and we're going to bake at 350 for an hour and a half. Stay tuned. Be careful removing that foil. As you can see, I just burned myself with the steam being released. Now we're going to go ahead and drizzle on a generous amount of honey onto our ribs. Following that, we'll add some char siu sauce and use a basting brush to make sure that it's evenly distributed. From this point on, it's crucial that you watch your oven. You'll be basting the ribs every 5 to 10 minutes with a mixture of honey and char siu sauce. Notice that every time you open the oven to baste the ribs, there's less moisture in the pan, and the mixture of honey and char siu sauce has thickened into a sticky, sweet, savory glaze. This is what makes this recipe so magical. After 3 or 4 glazing sessions, this is what your ribs should look like. Now you can take them out of the oven and set them aside to cool. To balance this dish, I'm sauteing some bok choy. The slight bitterness of the greens will complement the sweetness of our char siu pork. Now plate that together with some jasmine rice and garnish with the green scallions that you had saved from earlier. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and want to encourage you all to get in the kitchen, make your own. If you have any recommendations or modifications, leave them in the comments below. Stay awesome, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Go ahead and blend your marinade, and don't stop until it's as smooth as the baritone of my voice.